So today is a historic day for peace, and Prime Minister Netanyahu.
If Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, then Israel will finish the job by itself.
Israel would have my full backing to finish the job.
And one of our top focus remains the Gaza peace plan proposed by President Donald Trump. After days of speculation, the White House has unveiled a 20-point plan to end the nearly 2-year Gaza war, secure the release of hostages held by Hamas, and even lay out a vision for Gaza's future. President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu have announced a detailed peace plan for Gaza region, urging Hamas to accept the terms. The deal calls for an immediate ceasefire, Hamas disarmament, and a gradual Israeli withdrawal. It introduces a new international body to govern Gaza temporarily, though, barring Hamas from any political role. The framework also allows for future Palestinian statehood. Trump described the proposal as a historic day for peace, while Netanyahu backed the plan, saying that it meets Israel's war goals.
I also want to thank Prime Minister Netanyahu for agreeing to the plan and for trusting that if we work together, we can bring an end to the death and destruction that we've seen for so many years, decades, even centuries, and begin a new chapter of security, peace, and prosperity for the entire region.
I support your plan to end the war in Gaza, which achieves our war aims. It will bring back to Israel all our hostages, dismantle Hamas's military capabilities, end its political rule, and ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel.
According to this proposal, Hamas is expected to release all hostages, living and deceased, within 72 hours of acceptance, and in return, Israel would release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, which will include women and children detained after 7th of October 2023 massacre. Hamas members who commit to peaceful coexistence and disarmament will receive amnesty or safe passage out of Gaza region. The plan aims to demilitarize Gaza, making it free of terror threats, and rebuild it for the benefit of its people. Full humanitarian aid will flow into Gaza region, with the Rafah crossing reopened under established mechanisms. Governance will be temporarily handled by technocratic, apolitical Palestinian committee that will be overseen by an international body called the Board of Peace and chaired by Donald Trump, and will also include figures like former British Prime Minister Tony Blair.
That's what I want, is some extra work to do, but it's so important that I'm willing to do it, and we'll do it right, and we'll have a board, and one of the people that wants to be on the board is the UK former Prime Minister, Tony Blair. Good man.
According to the proposal, Gaza's economy would be revitalized through a development plan that is modeled on successful West Asian cities. Residents will have full freedom of movement with no forced displacement whatsoever. Hamas and other factions will be barred from governance, and all military as well as terror infrastructure will be dismantled under international oversight. Hamas for now has not responded to the proposal, stating that it has not received the plan, leaving uncertainty around the fate of the 20-point proposal. The Israeli Prime Minister has warned that Israel would finish the job against Hamas, that is, if it rejects the deal, while the US President said that Israel would have his full backing to do so, that is, if Hamas did not accept the deal.
But if Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job by itself. This can be done the easy way, or it can be done the hard way, but it will be done.
Israel would have my full backing to finish the job, of destroying the threat of Hamas. But I hope that we're going to have a deal for peace. And if Hamas rejects the deal, which is always possible, they're the only one left.
Now, according to the 20-point plan, an international stabilization force will deploy to train Palestinian police and secure border areas, working with Israel and Egypt. Israel will progressively withdraw from Gaza region based on agreed security milestones without annexing or occupying the territory. However, if Hamas rejects the plan, aid and stabilization efforts will continue in areas cleared of terror. Additionally, 8 Muslim-majority nations in a joint statement have hailed President Trump's Gaza proposal. The countries include Egypt, Qatar, Jordan, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Indonesia, as well as Pakistan. The Palestinian Authority, which is based in the West Bank, would be set for a role in post-war Gaza government, also welcomed Trump's sincere and determined efforts. Washington's European allies promptly voiced support, with the leaders of France, UK, Germany, as well as Italy sharing strong expressions of support for the peace plan. However, in devastated Gaza, residents have expressed skepticism that Trump's plan could end the war in the region. And earlier, we were joined by CEO of Gulf State Analytics, Giorgio Cafero from Washington, D.C. Mr. Cafero spoke extensively on the Gaza peace plan and also spoke on some sticking points as far as the peace deal is concerned.
Well, this does seem to be a little bit of a divergence from the rhetoric we heard from Trump earlier this year about the U.S. simply taking Gaza. This seems to place more emphasis on international actors playing more of a hands-on role rather than making Gaza simply a U.S. possession, basically. I have to assume that there was probably some influence that entered the picture when Trump was meeting with the leaders of important regional countries